Hello friends, and welcome to today's video of the top 5 classic fragrances that still work today. All 5 of these fragrances are from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. The newest fragrance in the category is 1988. And so these are truly classic fragrances, but this is coming from a 41-year-old perspective. I'm 41 years old, and I tend to not be a big fan of the really heavily dated fragrances, okay? I like more of the fresh fragrances. I like woody, spicy fragrances. I like citrus fragrances, but I don't like those very powdery, very florally, grandma-esque, old, okay? So the top 5, I think, will work for anyone from 30 up. Even if you like the newer stuff, I think the top 5 definitely will. But I am going to start with a couple of runner-ups. The first one is going to be this one, Aramis by Aramis. It didn't make the top 5 because I personally can't wear this fragrance, but this is still today, this is my best seller. Dillinger Designer Decants, we sell decants of designer fragrances. We sell all of our fragrances in pretty much in this 3mm bottle here. It comes, and listen, 3mm is plenty of juice to give you a good sample. You're going to get about 40 sprays out of a 3mm bottle. That means that you can wear that every day, spray heavy, wear it every day for a solid week, or you can wear it 2 days a week for a whole month. But anyways, Aramis is my top seller, and it's not even close. People just want to smell it. They want to see if it smells like how they remember. Aramis is a woody chypre, 1966 release. Bernard Chant was the nose behind it. You get a top of some citrus. You're going to get some floral from that jasmine, orris. But what you're smelling here is you're smelling citrus, you're smelling patchouli, you're smelling leather and sandalwood. It does have a little bit of a powdery vibe. It does have a little bit of an animalic kind of urine-y vibe. If you smell that in Kuros, you're going to smell that in Aramis. But so many people love it. It's definitely a fragrance that still works today if you like a good projecting beastly fragrance. My other alternative or runner-up, Drakkar Noir. I still wear this. I don't still wear it. I used to wear it, and I've started back wearing it. What's old is new. This is a release from Guy Laroche, their most famous release, the only one that is probably a household name. There was obviously, this is a flanker, there was a Drakkar. This is Drakkar Noir, but it's definitely their biggest seller, a 1982 release. It's an aromatic fougere. Definitely you smell lavender. Definitely you get those subtle hints of the lemon and the bergamot, but what you're smelling here is that lavender. You're smelling a mid of that carnation jasmine blend, and then you're smelling that leather, vetiver, sandalwood, oak moss blend that is in so many fragrances from this genre. But this one it's blended beautifully. This still smells good today. If you don't have some, go get you a little bottle like this. This is a little 30 ml, I think, bottle. Won't cost you very much money. Put it in your rotation. I think you'll love it. Top 5. Number 5, we're going to go with Azzaro Pour Homme by Azzaro, 1978 release. Gerard Anthony, Richard Wirtz was the perfumers behind it. It's classified as an aromatic fougere. And this is one of the best barbershop scents that you will ever smell. It doesn't have that heavily dated smell. Like, to me, it doesn't smell near as dated as Aramis. It's similar to Drakkar Noir in that I think it's still fresh enough that you could wear it today and nobody's going to think that you smell bad. Everybody's going to think you smell good. It is probably a little more mature, so Maybe if you're under 30, this one might not be for you unless you just really like those. But number 5, Azaro Pour Homme, a great aromatic fougere, barbershop style fragrance. Number 4, from the house of Armani, this is Armani Eau Pour Homme, and this here is a vintage bottle. Armani Eau Pour Homme is a 1984 release. It's a citrus aromatic, but I would classify it as a fougere as well. It does have that slightly powdery, but barbershop, I would call it a subtle barbershop fragrance. This is a really classy, if you was to classify this as a barbershop fragrance, because it does have that lavender, it does have the oak moss, the vetiver, the sandalwood, the patchouli that you find in so many of the fougères, the barbershop style fragrances, but this is a super classy one. So you've got the top bomb of citruses: lemon, bergamot, mandarin orange, green orange. You've got some herbal notes, some basil, some nutmeg. You've got that lavender. You've got some florals in the mid: carnation, jasmine, lily, rose. This is a fantastic, classy barbershop style, but really not. It's classified as a citrus aromatic, but that's Armani Eau Pour Homme in the 4 spot. Number 3, the newest one on the list, it's Cool Water, Davidoff, you know it. Classic, 1988 release, Pierre Bourdon, who was the nose behind Creed's Green Irish Tweed, even though Creed's website attributes it to Olivier Creed. He was the nose behind Green Irish Tweed. He didn't like that he didn't get the credit for his creation, so he went to Davidoff and created this for them, and it is 90% close to Green Irish Tweed. If you want it to smell like Green Irish Tweed, but you don't want to spend $300 on a bottle, instead spend $30, get you a big bottle of Davidoff Cool Water, and I'll be honest with you, it's in the air, it would be hard for someone to tell the difference. You would have to be a real Creed Green Irish Tweed aficionado to tell the difference. I think they got the marketing right on Cool Water. To me, Green Irish Tweed is not a green fragrance. It's a blue fragrance. This is the first blue fragrance. It's again, aromatic, aquatic. You've got top notes of seawater. It's got that saltiness. It's got some lavender mint. You've got the middle. It's got that sandalwood. It's got neroli, jasmine. And the base, you've got musk, tobacco, oak moss, cedar, amber. It's really smooth. Again, what's old is new. This was worn out in the 80s and 90s. It's not been worn heavily since the early 2000s. That was 20 years ago. Get you a bottle of Cool Water, start wearing again. It is the 3rd best classic fragrance on my list. Number 2, and I went back and forth what was going to be 2, what was going to be 1. Number 2 spot, we're going to go with Heritage, however you want to say it. I'm an American. I speak English. I call it Heritage. From the House of Guerlain, 1992 release, classified as a woody spicy. Friends, if you've never smelled it, you've got to put your nose on this. It is absolutely one of the best fragrances ever blended together. There's more notes than a jazz solo. Top notes, you've got lemon, bergamot, you've got lavender, aldehydes, juniper berry, sage, petitgrain. I can pick up the lemon and the bergamot. I can pick up the sage and the lavender. I don't know what petitgrain smells like. I'm sure it's in there. You've got patchouli. You've got a bunch of flowers: geranium, rose, carnation, orris, jasmine, cyclamen, lily of the valley. In the base, you've got sandalwood. You've got amber, oak moss, cedar, musk. But let me tell you, friends, this right here is gorgeous. It's beautiful. It has that classic masculine, very put together vibe, but it doesn't. What I love about it, okay, I would put this in the category of Bois de Portugal, of Boucheron Pour Homme, of, you know, those type of fragrances. I guess, well, I don't want to mention the one that's coming up next, but those very power suit, classy, you know, guys that's drinking a glass of brandy, smoking a cigar, things I wouldn't care to do, but well put together. But it doesn't have that. A lot of those fragrances will have a lot of a powdery accord, and to me, a urine type accord. You don't get any of that in Guerlain Heritage. Take out the bad stuff. It don't smell like your grandma, like some of the other ones. To me, Boucheron Pour Homme, for the first 30, 45 minutes, it smells like a cat peed in your grandma's powder can. Once it dries down, it smells fantastic. Bois de Portugal the same way. This Guerlain Heritage, you get that. To me, it smells better than either one of them, and it takes out the bad qualities, if there are any, if you don't like those things like I don't. That's number 2 on the list. You need you a bottle. Very affordable at discounters. Number 1, from the House of Dior, it's Eau Sauvage. 1966 release. This was Steve McQueen's go-to. It's a citrus aromatic. Edmund Rudnitska was the nose behind it. Friends, to me, this is what the Garden of Eden must have smelled like. It opens up with a blast, the best citrus top I've ever smelled in any fragrance. It's listed as just lemon and bergamot. It is a blast of lemon and citrus, that bergamot. It's so fresh. It's eye-opening. And then you get that subtle basil, that subtle rosemary, that little herbal tones. It gives way to jasmine. It gives way to this honeysuckle-esque vibe. It smells like you're walking through a honeysuckle patch, a jasmine field, I'm assuming what that would smell like. And then you've got this awesome base of vetiver. In the new formulation, I don't get much oak moss. It doesn't have that little bit of edgy, sometimes, you know, rankness. That, in a good way, if it can be good. But anyways, the amber and the vetiver and the musk you smell, it is fantastic. If you told me this was, if I'd never smelled this, and somebody said, yeah, this is a 2021 release, it's brand new, I would have believed them. It smells as fresh and clean and modern as anything that you'll smell coming out, new releases, yet it was made 50 years ago, 1966, however long ago that was. That's my top 10. Top 5. Again, Azzaro. I should have left them up here, I guess. Armani Eau Pour Homme. Davidoff Cool Water. Heritage by Guerlain. And the number 1, Eau Sauvage Dior. There's your top 5. Thank you. Like and share. Make sure you're subscribed. We'll see you down the road. God bless.